So funny enough, the first time I hit the stream button, it worked. So yeah, that's on me. Hopefully it's working now. That I'll give it a couple seconds to fully go on YouTube. But for the people that are watching the recorded part, congratulations, you just saw a blooper. So let's see if it's working now. I hope it is. All right, just waiting for that to start.
In the meantime, why not enjoy a Nuka-Cola?
Oh! Hey!
We just went to a GalaxyCon. Basically, it was a trooping weekend for us in that part. So
all right, so we are live. Cool. So sorry, you finished saying what you were saying, Ian. I'm sorry.
Anyway, I spent like 2 out of the 3 days that I was there in armor. Third day, we had our Raider day, so we broke the war horn back out and all got dressed up in our Rev costumes, including the big heavy coat and all that. Man, that thing was hotter than shit. Like, let's go ahead and walk around like 10,000 people, 10,000 nerds on a Sunday of a con, wearing a big fur and leather coat. Yeah, that was.
Ian, how much does that coat actually weigh? Is it like a 15-pound jacket?
It's not that bad. Honestly, it's probably a good 6 or 7 pounds. It's a solid piece, but it's not gonna break it down. Wearing it.
Nice.
I mean, I'm probably not gonna be running around in it. That's fine.
Moseying.
Yeah.
Cruising speed.
Yeah, exactly. It was really fun taking the war horn though, and I sent Kian down the back hallways into like the 501st room and blasted the horn.
you provoked the game more.
which funny enough, I was talking to Kian during day 1, and he told me it's technically a woodwind.
Oh, huh.
By the construction of it, yeah, it does function with a membrane or a reed. So yeah,
it functions with a reed.
Yeah, I built the prototype one, which is a much smaller horn, still louder than hell. But we were originally going to use the smaller variations as like dot communication. So you weren't supposed to just hear one horn; you were supposed to hear one big one, and then 3 or 4 smaller, higher pitched ones. For sheer terror, it was going to work well, but then I realized that we all had flamethrowers and miniguns, and one horn was enough. It's like, oh shit, we heard the horn, and there's violence.
Yeah.
All
right, so anywho, I'm just sending out, or we're having a couple viewers tune in, so I'm just sending out some notifications on some Discord servers that we are live right now. Okay. But anywho, I just might as well start the introductions real quick for the recorded part, and just start the ball rolling. So, if you're watching the recording, or if you're live right now for that one person, hello, Friday here once again. Thanks for tuning in to the Rev Aftershow live stream. That today, I was gracious enough to have some people accept my invitation for joining the live stream. That today we have the assassin, or the Airsoft Assassins, otherwise known as Grim and Tank. We have the COV merchants, I like to call them, but CJ. And then down here we have Ian, otherwise known as Echo. That just let you guys know why I picked these guys. Grim and Tank, they had some awesome costumes from the event. And you guys won the costume contest, right?
Tank did.
Yeah. And what was the reward? A free ticket?
Yes.
Yeah. And where are you going to use that ticket for?
Rev December.
Rev next year? Nice. Smart. And then CJ, I picked him because he was a NPC at the event. And he's a well-known NPC. And how long have you been doing the NPC job for?
Over 10 years. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's always a good experience. That everyone that I bring on, that they always say it's a great experience.
Oh, absolutely. It's a
And
different kind of fun, seeing things from behind the scenes, and wheeling and dealing is always fun. I've always enjoyed that.
Yeah, and then also getting all the cool knickknacks and everything.
Oh yeah, time.
And then I brought on Ian or Echo because you're essentially one of the head guys for the Goons. Not, I know John kind of is, or Pink or Purple Coat is, but
Pink. Oh my god.
Pink Coat. Oh my god, I'm going to die now.
Oh,
Like,
you're calling him the man of the pink coat for the rest of the
No,
I
sorry,
will die in that blood pit.
I'm slightly dyslexic.
The Brotherhood of the Fabulous Jet.
Technicality. Under technicality, what it is the goon squad started with Purple Coat / John, and at this point, he's pretty much given it to me to do whatever I feel with. Like, I get the best results out of anybody he's had in that kind of position, and I'm the one who's hung on the longest. So half the time, especially during winter revs, I am a player, and I'm leading that faction from the front like a psychopath. During summer revs, we did it last year, and we'll do it again this year. I will be a role player in more or less the same position, but I'm bringing back the gameplay mechanic of the Goon Trials, where I take a D20, I toss it, and you pick a random thing from the event. Because of some certain time constraints, it'll probably be using the list from the last year, so there are some slight changes to it. Not that I can really talk about that, but well, if you're CJ, I'm really sorry again. It's going to be entertaining.
I'm looking forward to it. I remember before when I first started, I'm like, no, please spare me. I'm just a humble merchant. I'm like, please, I need like a 30-second like break, like have something happen.
We're just gonna go ahead and like, all right, you do the thing. And it's like, I heard the war horn. Cool.
Just don't shoot me in the face. That's my only rule.
Oh God, we're gonna have
my moneymaker.
It's really fun.
Hold on. Oh.
Yeah, I can't hear you. Oh.
Yay! Party time!
Yeah. Discotheque, right? You remember that, Ian? Discotheque.
Oh God, not the discotheque.
We actually enjoyed that. We thought that was pretty fun.
Was that the guy like rocking out in this shipping container?
Yeah, exactly.
I stopped
Oh
by
my God,
I was like, what is going on?
we got some video in there, but it was actually pretty fun.
My head and they're like, what in the God? Oh my God. Yeah. And then
you got a little, what was he doing? A little VIP wristbands.
Yeah.
You know? Actually, CJ, one of the first sort of tasks that we did was for you guys. Tank went around. You wanted him to do 5 merchant pictures.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was one of the first elements that he did after fighting Purple Coat. So that was like second in line, but he got there, and we'll probably talk about it more if Frank gets back on his own live stream.
I was gonna
I'll let him talk about it more.
There is one thing I will say about that blood pit. At this point, I think it's pretty well documented that if you face me in there, you have to be good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure one of the few people that I can surely say I can't just dog walk is Purple Coat. He puts up at this point we go toe to toe pretty evenly. And
yeah, he's good.
He's really freaking good. Normally he beats me. I think for the last event, I beat him twice in a row. And I was like, dude, are you okay? I was a little worried about him. I was like tired. I fought like the last, 10 bouts.
What do you think, Tank? You think you're going to take Purple Coat this year?
As long as I don't have the unfortunate luck of slipping in mud.
You're going through me first, kiddo.
I want to go back there and go to the fight pit again because it looks like a lot of fun. It's been a while. I challenged Trevor and one of my other buddies too, and it was good fun. But I'm so rusty. But I want to get practice with it because there's an event coming up called Geigerlands. I think they moved it to September where it's unlike where you just have the fight pit where you can use LARP weapons. At that event, you can use them day and night.
Oh, so it's like open melee?
Yeah. And there's even like a perk system, and some of the perks you get can help with melee. At night, I don't remember what time frame. I think it's like 8 o'clock. Everyone, puts their guns up. Everything's unsafe. You can remove your eye pro, and you can do night combat with just melee weapons.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
So we were we went there. They set up like a mini fight pit in one of the areas. It's an old prison up in New York. We went and did that. We were exhausted. I banged my knee on the floor. I'm like, I don't want to. I took myself out in the first round, unfortunately. But we were nervous because we thought they were going to come back to our campsite and like try to do some night raids. Thankfully, they didn't. But we were so paranoid that we were just kind of like waiting on pins and needles. And my buddy's cot, it kind of gave way, and he just fell on the ground, the hard floor. And everyone just like sprung up because we thought we were getting attacked because they're all like sleep deprived.
Where is that event, CJ?
It's I can't remember exact. Let me see if I can get the details for it. It's up in New York. Let me see if I can get the actual place. I think it's Warwick, New York. It's at an old penitentiary.
Okay.
It's in. Let me see if I can get the. Wait, there it is. There's the event.
It's not Zulu, is it?
No, it's at here we go. Hudson Sports Complex or Mid-Orange Correctional in Warwick, New York. September 5th through the 2nd.
That's still live because so one of the indoor fields that we go to, I'm hearing rumors that field is closed now. There was a stabbing there. Is that the same field?
No, no. This is like a sports complex that they hosted at.
Okay, so this isn't the old police like training facility.
No. At least I don't think so.
Okay.
It's
Somebody there took melee combat a little too seriously.
yeah. I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
back.
The field closed, and we're
Exactly.
starting to see locals drive from Connecticut to a north field that's right on the border of Pearl River in New York and New Jersey, and they're traveling from Connecticut to play indoors because there's a field like right up in that area that closed for an actual stabbing.
Gee, it's like the meme. It's like when you use a knife to save ammo, everyone else at the paintball field.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you've successfully fought off the Raiders. Welcome back, Frank.
All right. Yeah, really. I would show you why I fought the Raiders, or I would show why I used to fight off the Raiders, but YouTube does not want me to show weapons, unfortunately.
Any at all? Well, crap.
Dang, because I love to show off my personal the Great Gatsby that I usually bring out for
The Great Gatsby.
Yep.
Oh, the one with the oil filter.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
We'll
gotta
probably
do that
bring it
with-
up in
do that
unique
with one of
packs,
mine.
but this is
Do
one
you have
thing.
a picture of it? Do pictures count, Frank, on YouTube?
Yeah.
Pictures. I mean, I don't want to push the algorithms. Look, I mean, I know I can, if I want to, I can have something behind me, but as long as I don't touch it, I'm fine.
Right.
So technically,
But real
you
quick-
get a picture of the thing
In reflection.
in reflection.
Hey, Google's going to get pissed. All right. So,
You know
anywho,
what? The AI gets stuff.
oh, sorry.
No, continue.
Sorry, I just wanted to get the show back on the rails. Sorry about that. So we already went over everyone. Real quick though, does anyone have any social medias they want to shout out real quick?
Not really.
So we have a brand new spanky shiny YouTube channel that will be getting populated. That will be at the Instagram at the Airsoft Assassins, and then certainly on Instagram as well at the Airsoft Assassins. So like to connect there. We really want to focus our YouTube stuff, and we have a lot of content, but we really want to start generating content specifically for ops that we go to. So we travel for different events. We travel for ops, and then we have regular play. But as we've been compiling content for the last year, we really want to focus all of our editing on ops that we do or events that we do. So looking forward to start putting that content up on YouTube.
What's your
Yeah,
Instagram again? I'm gonna see if I
At
can.
the Airsoft Assassins as well.
All right. That once this stream's archived, I'll go ahead and make a pinned comment. Just with a couple links so that people can find where you are.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're compiling over a year and a half's worth of different ops. So like if you see our patch wall, all our coins, these are all different ops that we've played in, the last year and a half, and events that we're doing. We do a lot of events in up in Extreme Airsoft too. So they run a lot of indoor events as well as doing outdoor events. So,
I went
so
to
we
their
travel a lot.
Yeah, I'm starting to get into that now because I want to like go to different places and fields and events and stuff.
It keeps Airsoft much more interesting,
Agreed.
Especially when you're kind of locked down to a couple of local fields, right? Break it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that sucks, honestly. Not being stuck in one local field, it sucks. Because then you don't get to expand your horizons. You don't get to see different player bases. You don't get to see different play styles. You don't get to see different types of events, which is why I really like Rev, is because there's different kinds. Or it's just a different gameplay loop.
Rather than just Team A versus Team B, they actually have some cool stuff for it. They encourage different outfits, not just multicam and M4s. There's actually some variety. It's great.
Yeah, that there's.
You show up in
I have multicam and M4.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Then again, I'm also really not an airsofter. I'm more of a costumer, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just happen to be ex-military, and I know how to use a firearm decently enough. So actually, if you wanted to go ahead and plug, I could go ahead and throw my own Instagram up there at echo.darklighter. That's usually where I operate out of. I do customs for people who, are looking for something different. A lot of post-apocalyptic. I've actually worked with solid metal armor for a couple of people.
It is rad. I get to see it up close.
Yeah. I know Kean's actually got a full set of Mandalorian armor made out of steel that I did for him.
Keaton is Mr. Burt or Fuse or the guy that wears the vault suit with the flamethrower. If you guys watched my Rev Omega video or my Rev Omega series chapter 2, when we're escorting Swamp through the swamp trail, that he was taking point, and I did a favor for him, and he gave me a ball cap for a favor, and I employed him. So,
nice.
So if you guys,
you had a time limit, if I remember correctly, with him, right?
Yeah, it was like an hour, and the escort it took us like 20 minutes to get from where COV was on the pond to, or no, it was Hard Hat, from Hard Hat to basically COV Mother, and it was because we had a Blind Man. And then, because I was edited out like mostly everyone's gameplay, Blind Man and everyone wanting to say hi to Swamp Sniper.
Yeah,
including myself. Which speaking of which, real quick, that's a great segue. That Swamp wasn't at this event. That he had some family stuff going on. We completely understand, and we're happy that he was able, or that his kid was born and is safe now. But it was pretty hairy at the time of the event. So that again, I'm totally grateful. I owe him a cigar. Don't smoke, kids. But
no, he's working on a platoon at this point. He really has to be. How many is he up to?
4, maybe?
4.
I think it's. I remember him saying it. I want to say 4 or 5. I could totally be wrong, but I remember him, mentioning it. If you guys recall him doing the announcements, and then he did come on day 2 at the end. I mean, that's very gracious for him with everything that was going on to show up at the end of day 2. Tank was able. He had created a little gift for him. He likes his jerky, but we did like a cosplay cockroach, with a beef jerky logo on it. So we got to give it to him at the end of the night and take a quick picture with him. He seemed pretty grateful about that, but very gracious to come out after everything and still spend time with everybody that was on the field.
I'm just really that a new gun and didn't get to shoot him.
You get a chance again.
Yes, I will.
Actually, no, you're going to be. Well, as we said at the top of the stream, that you said that you're going to be an NPC for it's Rebirth this year, not Fertile.
Yeah, so officially for the Fertile Crescent games / this year is going to be Rev Rebirth. It's a rebranding and a retelling of the story. I can't give any details, but it sounds really exciting, and you guys are in for it.
And also, we're just going to swap some things around. That what day is Rev Rebirth?
I don't know.
That's the weekend of the 20. Well, Friday the 25th, 26th, 27th. So
yeah, April 26th and 27th.
That's like 20 days from now, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, my weekend is
Yeah.
focused on just getting stuff ready, some more stuff ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rev comes quick. So if you guys do want to pick up tickets for that you can pick it up at ballahack.com. That they're like $170 now, or are they still like $130?
I'm not
or $150.
Sure.
I can check.
$150. I know they're tiered on time, but I don't know where they're at right now.
I don't know either, but I'm just saying real quick, since some people are going to be NPCs there at that event. If you want to see them, that's one of the events you can see them at. Or at Rev 2025 is like, or when Rev 2025 is like they call it until they release the name.
Yeah.
But if you want to go,
like for a favor with me, bring me a flag. It is known.
Any flag?
Any flag. I don't care how you got the flag. Just bring it to me. I like flags.
You heard it here first. Get him a flag.
Give me a flag.
And then just a couple other events I have to go over for my sponsor. Hold on. For our sponsor, Jackal Tactical, this one, their 10th year patches.
Ooh.
That if you saw my patch wall, that you'd be like, how many patches do you have? Too many. How many patches do you have? 2.
I feel that.
Add Dragon Tactical?
I'm sorry, Jackal Tactical?
Oh, Jackal Tactical. I thought I said Dragon Tactical. I was like,
no.
I think I have. Yeah, I've got one of their patches.
But anywho, Jackal Tactical, 729 Walnut Street, Lebanon, Pennsylvania. They have everything you need. Everything from sniper rifles to pistols to gear to BBs to everything to used. That Grim's actually wearing one of their shirts right now, and I'm wearing their shirt for Downfall 9, which the next event in the Downfall series, Downfall 11, is going to be November 3rd and 4th at EMAR Event Park in New Milford, PA. Also, too, Night Sky, Operation Night Sky. I forget which one they're on. I think they're on 9 this year. Just got released. The date just got released. I believe it's the first weekend in August. I've been super busy at work. I haven't had a moment to breathe. All I know is that the date got released, so make sure you check out roadmilsim.com for that date. Operation Code Orange. That's the game at Crescent. That's going to be held in September. Dates are coming soon. And then in November is going to be Operation Draco. Operation Draco. Both of them are going to be Code Orange 2, Draco 2. That's going to be at GTI in November. So any other events that you guys want to promote? Oh, shoot. One more event, or 2 more events, actually, before I forget. Black Dragon Tactical. 2 more events I want to promote real quick. That I'm going to be attending for LARP, or LARPsoft as I like to call it. Atomic Dawn, Shattered Skies. That's going to be in September. I believe that's September 7th and 8th, if I am not mistaken. Again, I haven't
about that one because I was looking up. There's so much stuff on Facebook.
Yeah, 6th and 7th. That's going to be a 2-day event this year. It's pretty good in my opinion. That there were some kinks that had to be worked out in the beginning, or from the first event. But I think that it definitely is getting worked out. I think the second event is going to be a lot greater or a lot better. And then Wagman Productions, October. Shoot, I just had the date up.
Oh, that's
I believe it's October 6th, October 4th. That's going to be a paintball asylum in the Poconos in PA. So more details can be found on those websites and those Discord servers. All right. So to go down the itinerary, how was the event for you? That Grim and Tank, how'd you guys make out? That we were talking in the pre-show, and I know I did the Warpath path, or no, sorry, not Warpath, Silo, Silo path, and then Echo also did the Silo path, as you can see in my video. But you guys did something different, right?
Yeah, we did the Royal Blue Trading Company.
Nice. And how'd you guys make out with that?
Look, it was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a difficult path. There were a couple of things you needed to do to progress through the series to wind up with a lootable item that you had to kind of really protect at the end. So I know Silo's kind of like once you got your non-lootable item, you were basically good if you got that on day one. Is that correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from what I remember.
Yeah. But with Silo, yeah, that once you get, I have all my props off screen, and I can't find the one I'm looking for. Oh, there we are. Yeah, once you get your non-lootable item, the Silo patch, you don't have to worry about anything.
On
But
my board somewhere. I have no idea.
I've got
Yeah,
mine are back here.
If you, I'm sure you know the path will tell you the path. So Christian, explain, for the people watching what our path was to go ahead and get that.
What we had to do is we had to get our hands on 3 of these circuit boards to get one of these. So it was 9 circuit boards in total. Once we got our hands on a blue code, we had to go for a final siege to get rid of the administration with them. Once we did that, handed in our cards, and we got a little lootable tablet. We had to bring that tablet to the end extraction point. Once we had a tablet at the end, we could extract and win and get this victory coin right here.
So it's kind of a
We
trick.
just people.
what? Yeah, that's
Say again, Ian.
what
I
you
said,
said. You cut
with
out.
the Silo, we just shot a bunch of people.
Yes.
Well, they did too, but it was the administration
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
and people trying to kill them for their silo bans.
So for us, I think we kind of had a powwow. We had a third that was with us as well as part of our team, and it was our first rev. So it was actually our first rev event,
Nice.
and we didn't know if taking the aggressive path. I mean, although Tank was rocking a minigun, which was his primary, right? It could have been pretty easy just spraying and praying. We decided to take the not so aggressive path because we didn't even really know how we were going to interact with all the NPCs and just players on the field. So there's a lot going on, a lot of stimulation for that first time event.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
they're pretty cool because there is essentially like an invisible reputation system where if you just want to shoot people up, you can. People are going to react to that though. Yeah.
Yeah, if you see purple, that's a reputation essentially. You know the reputation already.
For
You got two options.
principal, charity, and community service. That's their motto.
Yes, charity, community service. We serve the community by putting bullets in them. We are charitable with our distribution of ammunition.
I was going to say that.
Providing ground beef for Paco's Tacos.
You know what? It was the first time I'd actually fielded my Well Pro M134 minigun. It was completely customized job, like custom front end with saw blade teeth, a foregrip that I managed to attach with what are they? The freaking hose clamps, and a couple of other little touches, especially a complete paint job. It affectionately gained the nickname the Ripper, but that kind of was my weapon that I used the entire time. It was just mean.
I bet.
Yeah.
Actually,
It sounded mean
and very.
It sounds cool.
Because
just
if
to
you
look
have
up.
it handy, I'd love to see it. I don't know if I remember I saw it at the event.
Well,
I was very
you-
sleep deprived. So
you
I don't-
can you can show it, but you can't be handling it. That's the rules for
okay.
YouTube.
It, it might get past the algorithm because it's a weird looking device. It's a vacuum cleaner, YouTube.
Oh, crap.
It's a leaf. Actually, it's a leaf blower.
It's a leaf blower.
Let me show you this here leaf blower that is
Norm?
currently caught up on. Definitely not a leaf blower. Dear Lord.
Remember, leaf blower.
Yeah.
It lost some parts during the event.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, I did. Okay,
Oh,
yeah, I
yeah.
did see it. Yeah,
Nice.
you did a good job with the
Very
the
cool.
nose art, the shark nose art.
I handed that. It ain't bad.
A really good vacuum or leaf blower.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely. It blew many leaves.
How are
But-
those BB guns? I'm curious because I've seen a couple people run them, but I've never actually like seen them like range test or.
Neither did I. I'm blind as a bat. I don't know. I just pointed in a direction. Apparently, one. It was kind of surprising that the Well Pro was actually getting better range than a lot of other comparable ones, especially like Action Armies and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like we were doing
Classic Army.
Pepsi Challenge with myself and a couple of the Action Army ones, and I was getting more range than they were. So
Good to know.
yeah, so I guess that's one for Well, huh?
Yeah.
Do the wells have hop on them as well, or are they fixed
Actually,
hop?
every barrel had an individual hop. So what I ended up doing was differentially hopping. The barrel was 2 and 4, I think, and 1, 3, and 5, so that it would get a more a wider dispersal pattern.
Nice.
I've heard
Yeah,
some actual good stuff from Well. Weirdly enough.
yeah. You know what? They apparently
Nowadays.
Yeah.
but yeah, no, that thing was mean, very mean,
Nice.
very mean.
And not super expensive from what I saw.
No, it ran. I think that, and it came in it comes with 1,200 round detachable canisters.
Mags. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You can actually essentially reload them if you wanted to.
Yeah, you can reload it on the fly, and thank God you did, because over the course of 2 days, we basically bought a 47-pound box of BBs to feed our needs, because we were going to have 2 miniguns, 3 flamethrowers, et cetera, et cetera. We went through half.
Is that when you have your newbies for the goons or for the purple squad? You just have all right, you're the ammo bearer.
We actually did. We had one of our new guys hump it out to where we were going to be stationed. Thankfully, we're stationed in the center of town, right next to the blood pit, because we usually operate with purple coats, good graces.
Yeah.
So it sounded like you guys had a good event. CJ, how was it for you? Did you make good trades and all that?
Yeah. So for Rev Rift, my focus was we started the Merchants Guild. So it was kind of a bridge between the field and players who want to just set up, sell stuff, or if they want to travel around, be like mobile merchants. My goal is just kind of wrangle them, brief them, make sure they're doing okay. Because there was a lot of interest in people just wanting to set up, just sell stuff. So the stipulation for that was, okay, you are going to get some privileges from that if you decide to join the guild. The downside is you can't get the metal victory coin. You can't go for the
Silo.
Yeah, Silo or Royal Blue, stuff like that. There's at the end of the day, there's the one where if you just show up, you get the plastic ones. That was okay. It was a bit of a stiff sell, but there was legitimate people who were like, I'm not here for that. I just want to just be part of the vibe. And we're like, okay, cool. So it's just kind of traveling around, helping them set up, briefing them, giving them expectations, helping them with getting caps, getting stuff to sell, and just kind of operating out of we were kind of in town because the map layout was a bit weird. But so far things went well. We actually had a merchant guild meeting on the field during gameplay, which was funny. I was just nerdy stuff. It's like, yes. A staff during a gameplay, and we hired a bunch of security, just hey, make sure we maintain a perimeter. Maybe about 20-30 minutes we're gonna have a briefing. Got some really good feedback from the merchants. We're gonna build upon that for Rev Rebirth and Rev for the end of the year, trying to get them more involved, giving them more more of a reason to join the guild if you just want to come and sell stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spoil it. We have some fun rewards for potential Merchants Guild members. So that was kind of my objective for this one. I still was trying to involved with some of the quests. I was more involved for the Royal Blue stuff because it made sense for us wanting to get back at the administration because they moved us out of the north. Well, granted, they moved a lot of stuff. But so it made sense with us working together. All in all, I had a good event. It was just mostly administration work. I have to be careful when I use that word. It's administration not the group that's killing people. The just task of just literally dealing with paperwork on the field and doing some regular general selling and stuff like that. But I had a blast. It was a good time.
Yeah, that I did hear from a lot of people that the Merchant Guild was a great change of pace, and also too, in my opinion, like it's giving people another reason to do the event.
Yeah,
like you're not just there to get one of these. These are old victory coins. That you're not just here to get mine.
Dude, like
to get victory
ready. It's me. Come on now.
to get victory coins. That you're here to like trade stuff and actually like be a part of the event rather than just playing the event. Which, again, awesome idea, and it's great innovation.
Yeah, I'm glad the player merchants liked it, and then people who were like before the event started, we were set up in the parking lot at the entrance of the field, just kind of like telling people what the general shtick was, and the people were like, "Oh, that's interesting. I don't have anything this time, but for the future, I'd like to do." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, absolutely."
Yeah,
you were actually
that
too at one point.
Sorry, as you were saying, Grim?
Oh no, it's something that Tank had mentioned. Seeing the merchants and seeing the Merchant Guild and playing this event in the future to play different sort of storylines, it was actually something that he brought up. Like maybe one time we do sort of the merchant vibe, because it is a whole different experience to how the game plays.
Yeah, and it's pretty fun. And for the most part, there hasn't been anyone who just comes up and just shoots me in the face. Like even when I was a player merchant, like that never happened.
I was pretty sure I dropped a live grenade on you guys at one point.
That's different. Grenades, yes, you can get grenaded, and there'll be random stray fires. But for the Merchant Guild members, the distinction was, so role players are not allowed to shoot players. The role player Merchant Guild members, they could shoot back. We're like, yeah, you got a gun, you can shoot them. Granted, I gave them with the caveat, it's like, don't be super trigger happy. Like if you're just randomly shooting people, then you're not going to get any customers. Like
free bullet for every third customer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hard had some fun.
I'll take that silo band.
You need one of these?
I think some of the guild members did have them like on their person. I was like, if they want them, you can either sell them or you can shoot. You can defend yourself if someone tries to collect.
Yeah, I know some people sold them.
Yeah, I think I sold like one or two.
I know a couple of the merchants sold one or two. But real quick, just saying the event for me, that it felt very rewarding. Honestly, that I managed to get the silo victory.
Nice.
The silo victory coin.
I do like that coin.
Yeah, that I will say that it's lighter and not silver like the other ones.
Yeah,
like that's Rev 11, and then that's Omega. It's not as heavy, but I still like the bronze look and everything of it, and I like that there's two different paths to victory. But that, like I said, it felt more rewarding. Just because I didn't. Like, no offense to anyone, but it was kind of like I stumbled my way into the victory.
Yeah.
The other years, except for 12 where I got stolen. But I actually put in the work to do the silo part, and I think Echo, you can agree on that. Like you had to do work.
Yeah.
It's the work I came there to do anyway. Honestly, I walked into the event not intending to win. Like intending to just build a faction and do everything, but they were like, the conditions are literally you shoot 10 people and take their bands, and I'm like, well, all right, fine. I'm here already. I might as well.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say I stumbled into it. I would say I came there and did exactly what I was planning on doing and didn't have to change my plan at all.
Oh, there's a reward for killing random people?
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it allowed me to build the faction into what I wanted it to be, and we actually had some really good fights out there. I had a great time with it. I will say that what we made of the game felt a lot more rewarding than what was presented for us. if that makes sense. But yeah, sometimes you walk into Rev and you write your own story as opposed to what was going on, and
That's
whether
my favorite part.
and is secondary.
Yeah, that I mean, Rev is so player driven that sometimes it feels like you're being railroad or not. If you're not being railroad, you don't know what to do. Like I will say, with the administration stuff, it kind of felt like a railroad.
Yeah,
but I mean, it was fun nonetheless.
It was definitely more structured, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Because you were set to task, and it became more. That storyline, I think, Tank. What do you think? It felt a little bit like almost like a job.
Contrived.
Yeah.
I think so there was a level of stress that overshadowed the gameplay because you had to really kind of conform to a series of events to get to your objective.
Alternatively, what you also could do is the thing I did, which was you wait until everybody goes on the big charge, and then you shoot them all in the back and steal their stuff.
Well, so Echo, you seem a little bit more comfortable with crossing the line to obliteration. Frank, just how did you feel? Watching your recaps, watching your videos, I did get the impression almost that you were having almost an internal battle with, do I cross the line?
That I was honestly like, okay, Rev 11, 12, Omega, and AD. Like my character, like I'm chaotic good. Like honestly, I like someone shoots someone, I shoot the guy I shot one, then steal from him and give to the first guy I got shot. Yeah. Because that he got shot. It's not his fault, so he gets some payment. Or I would just throw his caps or currency into a crowd and just say, "Hey, free caps." But having done the evil path,
oh no.
It just
oh my
it just felt like going against my morals because it's just something completely different. However, though, I will say behind the scenes it makes for slightly better gameplay for whatever reason. Like people like the action, like running around shooting people and getting a victory that way. Some people enjoy watching that better than doing good walking around the swamp and shooting 20 rounds. Like I have a Elite Force saddle gun, and despite knowing that it can be used for the wilds, it's a lever action. Despite knowing it can be used for the wild, it is. But I 3D print my own shells.
So you'd have to pick them up afterwards. It's smart.
Oh no, he's launching shells left and
How
right.
well does it work with the 3D printed shells anyway?
So with the unmodified file, I get so it shoots 2 joules with the regular shell, so that's super hot. That's almost that's near sniper limit. Yeah, but with the 3D printed shells, if it's an unmodded shell, it shoots like 1.7 joules, which is a little over 400 FPS with a 0.2. Or no, it's over 430 FPS with a 0.2. With my shells, they're power down. I'm sorry.
That's pretty spicy.
I was gonna say that is a hot round.
But with my But I have power down shells. I mod the shells so they're power down. I get 1.2 joules, so I can point blank people, and that's what I was doing. And I had about 150 shells. I went through almost all of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
watching, he's clicking them off. Click.
Yeah. The
one time I ended up sniping during one of these events. Well, twice, whatever. I would have to pack like 5 magazines of like 50 rounds plus, because even with a bolt action, I'm just flying through ammunition.
Are they trying to snipe with the minigun?
No, but I could do it with the Vector. There's a reason I call it the Heartbreaker.
Oh, the Vector's dope.
That thing is. I just added a Paron MOSFET to it. It will this next event. It will be running in the hands of Lex, who is my lovely assistant.
Nice.
Awesome girlfriend.
Was she there?
Wait. Lex, your love.
Oh, yeah, she was. She was the one in the red armor chest plate.
Oh, also, okay. I think I met her.
Yeah, also one of my also a piece of my work.
You met her.
And your lovely assistant that made
she made the new control patches.
I think I have. I have. Oh wait, maybe. Yeah, I don't know if this is yours or not, but I got it.
Yep. The Nuka-Cola patches and also the patches with my own emblem. They were all made by her. So
She did a fantastic job.
Nice.
Yeah, that currently adorns Tank's shoulder.
all right,
armor.
that's where it belongs.
I really want.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably put on my one of my vests, but it would be fun to get a Fallout 4 like combat armor. Do all Nuka-Cola, be the Coca-Cola Death Squad.
I am here for it. Let's do it.
There was a guy at Katsucon with all what is it? All Nuka-Cola stuff, and he had a like modded plasma rifle that had like Nuka-Cola stuff on it. I'm like, sorry, man, I'm more of a Sunset Sarsaparilla guy. He pointed at me.
Hey, we drink Nuka-Cola in this house, sir.
Oh, nice.
Oh, holy! Jeff's here. Jeff made it.
Heyo.
Santa.
Oh, I forgot that's his actually.
Which, by the way, speaking of stuff that I got from the event, I'm just going to show the scarab because if I show the knife, the show will end because YouTube hates weapons. But yeah,
That's a nice. Yeah, I ain't got nothing for that.
Piece of plastic.
it's a scarab. It's technically not a weapon. It's only a piece of plastic.
Santa.
But I finally got one. That CJ, did you get one?
I've got I think I've got a Rev Rift one, and then he made me a COV specific one, so I want to mount that to my armor.
Nice.
Yeah, all I get from it is coal. I wonder why.
I did too.
Tank got his candy stocking.
Nice.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Did you get the candy out of that?
Yeah, I know.
Nice.
Like 12. Of course he had the can.
It's gonna melt.
Nothing.
And then also two
What
from
was in
Santa.
2 things of Starburst and caramel chocolate.
Nice.
Thank you again, Santa, for the piece of plastic for YouTube purposes. They're very nifty.
Letter opener. That's what it is.
Yeah, there we
I
go.
thought that counts. Steve.
Letter opener. Hey, actually, they're actually good letter openers. Do better.
Ah,
And then also I got one of these from Santa. It's hard to see with the glare.
Oh,
It says
nice.
Believe on the back. Believe. It's upside down.
Nice.
Believe. So I'm happy to get that. Oh, funny moment. Because we're going to go over the memorable experience or memorable moments topic in a moment. That I remember I was going around the pond and someone started shooting up some of the ATC guys.
Okay.
Or pointing a gun at him. So I shot him and then we traded and he was like, you were around these guys. I thought you were going to shoot him. I'm like, no, I was going to shoot you because you're pointing a gun at Rogue. And then I was like, read my dog tag. That Reno made me a dog tag for Rev 12 and then left pretty quickly because he had a kidney stone. No, but it was a Wasteland Coalition dog tag. So I was like, read it. And he was like, it's upside down. And I'm like, oh, flip it around. Because I was like, hey, I'm with these guys. But apart from that, my other memorable moment was I iced 4 guys in the Connex to get silo bans, and then I randomly get shot by someone who got revived in basically a small rev killing circle. I got shot, and then he got his band back, and we're both dead. And the 2 people that were reviving people ran off. That they were a part of my crew. And I was like, well, this is awkward.
Yes, I saw that in the video.
Oh yeah, I watched him too.
Yeah,
I was cringing for you.
yeah. There's no script at Rev. It's completely scriptless, which is part of the fun for the event. And
except the event where script was the currency.
Hey, well, actually, hold on. Do I have something?
It ended up. I think it was like the paper. Yeah, I think it was the paper script where it ended up in a massive. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, but because it rained like all of day 2, it just ended up like a clump of just paper.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least no one was counterfeiting that, and then,
of course.
and also too, speaking of currency, did you guys agree with the snap decision to go back to caps? Like, I thought it worked this year. like because it was just so sudden. Like, oh, we're doing our currency up caps, and then it worked.
Yeah, I like doing caps. The problem, like you mentioned, there's been problems with counterfeiting and just having just so many caps. I like it where they have like event specific ones, 1, 5, 10, 15, 20 or whatever. Those are fine. I like to segment them out. And it's also a little token you can keep with you. Say you don't achieve the victory. It's like, okay, well, you have a cap.
Yeah.
I've had people at the end of the day say like, hey, I didn't like win anything. Can I get like one of each cap? I'm like, yeah, here you go. But those are good. But that has been the problem is just people coming up and they just have a bunch of the blank caps still in the 144 pre-count bag. I'm like, I wonder where you got this from, buddy. But yeah, no, I like going back to caps because they're waterproof and they're durable and they're just cool. It's
they make a jingle jangle.
They do jingle jangle.
But before I neglect you guys, that just going around the guests, Grim and Tank, that were your guys' memorable moments from the event. Hello?
I think
I might have lost them. Yeah, they froze.
What's your favorite?
What's your favorite moment? Nothing.
Stage fright.
Let me check if
interdimensional travel.
Okay, I think we did lose them, unfortunately, as soon as I asked the question. But hey, that's the nature of live streams.
Press F.
And yeah, F in the chat.
F in the chat, boys.
But if you guys happen to be watching, just go ahead and join back in real quick. So, Echo, what was your memorable moment or memorable moments from the event?
I'd say our favorite one for the entire event was day 2. Somehow, either we decided to mess with the Enclave or vice versa. More likely than not, we decided to mess with the Enclave because
real quick, who's the Enclave again?
I don't know. They were dressed
some
as
random group.
Okay, because I've heard about them, but like I didn't get it clear. Like, okay, who are they?
They were where Royal Blue was.
Oh, that's right. They were at the little pond, like the circle pond bunker.
Yeah, back in the old location where the COV used to be.
Used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so they took their entire force and decided to push on us around town to try and flank us on the side. And of course I had a minigun, so I was like, all right, yeah, let's party. One of my guys decided, hang on a second, they're pushing with their entire force right now. Their base is undefended. So he tears this is Nomad we're talking about. I don't know if you've met Nomad.
That's Carter.
Yeah. He usually runs with the Minutemen. He's been the leader of the Minutemen for plenty of times, but like this time and Bert and a couple other people basically were like, let's do some goon stuff. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So he runs and tears absolute tail, pops up like the 2 defenders who are still at the Enclave base. And I just see the flag running through town, held aloft in just sheer victory. And I'm like, oh, cool. I guess we won. Because like during the entire event, we had the banner, the Order of the Echo banner in purple with the war horn onto it. Theoretically, if you
that thing was dope. The banner, the big old they all had. Was it the one with the Deathclaw head on it?
It did. The Deathclaw head fell and broke, so it's been repaired and retired. We're probably just going to run with the war horn of the banner, but it's
still looks cool.
Yeah, no, it's enough. But yeah, no, if somebody was feeling really froggy, they probably could have snatched it, but no one was that bold.
No one was that froggy.
So we stole the Enclave's flag. there's like a great shot of like somewhere in there of him just standing in the middle of town holding the flag aloft, just with this like, yeah. there were many high fives exchanged, and unfortunately their leader had to come and be like, oh, I guess we're done, aren't we? And I'm like, yeah, you are. Yeah, exactly. Can we have our flag back? I suppose
maybe
if you pay for it.
Well, I know during Rev 11 or Rev 12, the Minuteman flag got stolen from the parking lot. So I mean, that would be the first flag stolen at Ballahack.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So it actually is kind of a thing of mine to make off with flags, but at this point, because stuff like that does happen and people immediately point to me, I'm like, all right, I have it. If anybody needs it, come get me. If it's a big deal.
You are the usual suspects.
Yeah.
I am one of the usual suspects, and I actually have amassed quite a collection of nice flags at this point that people didn't mind passing or parting ways with. So
I'll see if I can get you a fun one.
yes, get me fun flag.
Yeah. I can't think of a segue. I'm sorry, Echo. But CJ, what was your most memorable moment from the event?
From both days or just day 1 or 2?
Both days.
Okay. Day 1 was more administration work, just kind of coordinating stuff like that. So it's kind of cool, like seeing the interest in it. Day 2 was fun because I left it up to the Merchant Guild members. I'm like, okay, the administration's coming. How do we want to play this? Do we want to stay in here? Do we want to just kind of hide? Oh, they're back. There was the path. I can't remember the guy who led it, but the path that kind of like evacuates the area. I was like, do we want to roll with them? And then at last, I took a revolver out of my holster. I was like, or we close down shop, we take off the veneer of customer service, and we put some iron in our hands, and we fight back. And everyone was just like, yeah. I was like, okay, I guess we're going to war.
Yeah.
So we had we pretty much closed up shop. I said, hey, like I kind of kept it like secret for the guild members, like, hey guys, like bring all your stuff inside. We're gonna bunker down in here, and then we're just gonna like everyone get your guns, load up, and we're just gonna like push out. And we're just there's a patrol of administration that came around the swamp in the Connex box area. There's a little lake, the big lake. And all of them were just laying down fire. They could not move at all. We just held there till the end of the day.
Nice.
I was just like looking around and like people I had seen like through the day, wheeling and dealing. We're just like, like laying down, like, yes, let's go. That was kind of my fun moment of like, okay, I guess we're going to war then.
Nice.
But just also seeing the people like have
the Ferengi go to war.
But I'm glad things went well and that people are interested in doing that stuff. So that's gonna be my main focus for next upcoming events.
Yeah, I'm glad that there's going to be a different path other than just shooting and looting. But real quick, though, that Echo does unfortunately have to go in a moment. But do you have any final thoughts that you would like to share real quick before you hop off?
I personally, like I said, I'm working as I'm going as a role player for this next event here in just a few weeks. I am very excited to bring back an old mechanic that I flew last time. And I'm hoping that everybody who comes out has a great time and comes and sees me. So
we will see you there.
Oh yeah, we'll see you there.
Bring flags, bring cool stuff, and be ready to have some fun.
Oh yeah,
and don't wear old world camo, right?
And stay hydrated.
Oh my God, no, wear it. I need somebody to hunt.
Fair enough. All right. Well, anyway. Thanks for joining us. Thanks Echo for joining us. That we hope to see you out in the field and maybe on another live stream. All right.
All right.
We'll see you, Echo.
Goodbye.
All right. So there were 4 because technically, Grim and Tank are 2 people.
I don't want to scare you.
Is Santa still on with us?
I would assume so. That there's 2 people watching and There's 2 people watching, and Jeff and Not Good at Airsoft commented. So I would assume they're here.
I'm also not good at Airsoft.
But real quick, I just got to take care of one thing in real life. It'll take me 2 minutes. I will be right back.
Okay.
I'm going to mute my mic, and then we'll keep rolling. But if you guys want to talk about anything you can, meanwhile, you can. Just give me 1 moment.
I don't want to scare you guys, but there's a mysterious man behind you guys.
Which one?
Oh, it's the guy in the corner.
Never mind. Sorry, that quick
Chat, is this
minute,
real?
quick 2
the
minutes of my
crazy
life.
part about putting these, cosplays together for the event, they're actually easier to store and maintain on the mannequins themselves.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
And it's
they
easy
get
to
bunched
work
up
on
in
it,
the
too.
corner.
Yeah, I need to get a full size mannequin. I just have a neck, torso, and like half leg one. I want to get a full size one just to make it easier to work on gear.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is a world that I'm just putting my toes in, per se. Coming from a long history of a nerd background in the 80s with original Dungeons and Dragons and miniature
Nice.
painting and cosplaying, you never know. Like you have your son, if he's going sports, if he's going books, is he going computers, and Tank is actually pretty well rounded. He's been boxing since he's 5, but he's a nerd at heart. So it's kind of best of both worlds. So doing Renaissance fairs are common now. Getting more into these LARP airsoft events. Really,
I'm enjoying them.
Who got me into Airsoft? I never played, so it was something he started when he was 10. He'll be 14 next month, and after about a year of teching for him and kind of tweaking for him, I got the bug, and here we are.
Welcome to it. Yeah,
Yes.
Rev is a lot of fun, and I love working on gear for it.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. It's you don't realize how much work goes into it, right, CJ? I mean,
tons, tons and tons.
Real quick, Grim and Jeff too. You'll get a kick out of this.
Oh, there you go. Okay,
wow.
Second edition.
Second edition. There you go.
I just got into D&D recently. I'm actually gonna play. We're playing tonight.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we're doing like a 40K version.
And actually, funny enough that and just saying that we are going to end the stream around 7:30 because my session starts around 8:30, and I gotta drive over there, and we're doing a 2E campaign that the world's been built over the past 30 years.
Okay.
And it's basically been all in 2E except for one campaign, which was 5E. But over 30 years, it was like 2 or 3 DMs. Someone unfortunately passed away, and the DM role got inherited by someone else. Long story short, and that's the role we've been playing in. So
okay,
yeah,
very nice. I do. One reason I want to get 3D printers to print out like miniatures and stuff for it.
Well, if you want to go that direction, you want to get a resin printer. You don't want to get a FDM printer because you're going to get a lot more detail with a resin printer than an FDM. Which is like your bamboos and stuff.
Yeah, I'll definitely message you once I'm ready for it. I think once I'm done paying off my car, I'm gonna probably buy a 3D printer. I want to do one for like cosplay, and I want to do one for like miniatures and stuff like that.
Well, FDM's cheap. You can get an FDM like $200-$300.
They've gone down in price quite. I'm very happy.
Oh yeah,
they used to be so expensive.
My bamboo P1P is like you can get it for $600. It's like a premium printer. Yeah. But real quick, let's get back on topic. Just because we only have so much time left, so we're just going to roll through this real quick. Day one experiences. For me, it was basically shooting, looting, conflicting my morals, and then Nomad, aka Carter, saving my rear after I got shot by the administration and fell. I fell on purpose, but I screwed up my shin. I screwed up my shin armor, but he pulled me out and got me rezzed. And then I don't know if you guys saw it. Did you guys see the Xenomorph?
No, I did. During day 1, day 2, no, we did not see it.
During day 1, after the supply depot got raided, that there was like a Xenomorph killing people, and it honestly felt like a wild, like I had the Wild Wasteland perk. It was like I'm like one of the only like 4 people that saw it, and I'm just running out of there, going like, nope. I've seen this movie before. So I mean, I'm kind of happy that they made it to where it's like, okay, it's gonna make this group of people look like kooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when
I was starting
movies
to wonder
release
if you were
different
seeing
endings.
things.
I'm sorry.
I was starting to wonder if you were seeing things when we were watching the video. Like you were asking, I was like, no.
Were you staying
I-
hydrated?
Yeah, exactly. There you go, CJ.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I did see it, and I did talk to someone on the Ballahack server and they said yeah, or I saw a video like yeah, there was a xenomorph and it was acting like a big bad, but it was only on day one, which was weird.
Yeah.
But apart from that, that's essentially my entire day one. Grim and Tank, how was your day one?
My day one, we participated in a discotheque. We did a quest where we went over to the new market and we got like this little carton of milk looking thing, and we had to bring it up to the Patriots, get a different carton, and bring it back to them, and that was a quest we did. We went to Candyman and we traded a custom made like peppermint themed goggles we called Candy Vision. Got a circuit board out of that.
What'd you trade it for?
A circuit board.
Nice.
On day one, no, you got the stim pack on day one.
Oh, wait, wasn't it? It was the AK for the stim pack.
Actually,
Yeah, that's
no,
day one.
I don't think circuit boards were released till day 2.
Yeah, day 2. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Something else.
So
circuit
he
board.
went down. We had a tweaked like AK Sima AK that we did for Candyman, and he wound up with the blue stim. So if anybody doesn't know what those
Nice.
are for rezzing, and then he did the Candy Vision, which we're waiting for Viper, Candyman to release that video with the Candy Vision. He was pretty stoked on it. And that's where we started our progress with circuit boards as we kind of worked around. We actually touched base with you at one point, CJ, and you were like, no boards.
Nope. Unfortunately, they go very quick. And the purpose of this for the Merchants Guild was also so instead of players just going to only roleplay merchants are going to have these things, we spread out a lot of the quest items to guild members, like to Merchant Guild members. So it's like, here you go, sell them at a high price, sell what you think is what you can get for them. Like just so that it's not just Candyman or Circus has it or Hardware. They have them, but it's just kind of another way to get player merchants involved in it. So there's not just
Tank also did the take five pictures for you as one of his tasks on day one.
I still have the photos saved on my phone.
He still has the photos of the merchants that he took, actually. But I think overall day one, especially as a first-time player, it was a lot to process. We wanted to participate in as much as we could.
Very nice.
On a day one. And I would say that it was a great lead into day two. Like we left day one tired, but smiling ear to ear, I guess would be the best way to explain it.
Yeah.
How about you? Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And also, too, real quick, that the entire experience, but primarily day one, it felt like different sections of the map were unlocking after certain community events, which I thought was cool, but I think the veneer of that novelty wears off a little bit because it's like, okay, you have 700 players stuck in the town.
Yeah.
You couldn't do anything. You couldn't do anything shady to get the silo bans.
Yeah, because you're trapped in there with them.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
you can do it. Just have a plan.
It's like what you mentioned earlier, Frank, right? Your reputation grows very quickly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Grows very quickly.
Yeah, I was kind of lucky enough to do a lot of charity work over the past technically 4 events because I count AD as one of those events because a lot of people from AD or a lot of people from Rev go to AD and vice versa. Now since it's fun. Go. It's in Maryland. Frederick, Maryland. Go.
Oh, that's not too far for me.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, okay, I kind of cashed in all this clout to get the silo victory, and now what's going to happen? Like, I'm like, I really just want to do good, but it was the easiest victory to achieve, and the victory that my group decided to go with, which is.
I gotta tell you though, I don't know if it was that easy. Maybe from a task-oriented point of view, But once you have to get past your moral, conundrum,
Yeah.
that's its own set of challenges.
Yeah, it's its own invisible mechanic too. It's like, okay,
absolutely.
you want to win, but what are you willing to do for it? Are you willing to? Can you look yourself in the mirror at the end of the day?
No.
Because I've seen people betray their own friends to get like victories. I'm like, you do you, man.
Yeah.
Hope you didn't drive in with them.
The funny thing is it turned out that we wanted to maintain at least keeping one silo band each as part of the event to take with us. And even that became a challenge to maintain that one band.
Yeah. Because I was going to try to keep one too, but it
was a battle.
Yeah, it was a battle.
At the end on day 2, that I forget his name, but the guy who did the silo, and he also was the Vault-Tec repairman. I forget his name.
Yeah.
Begins with a C.
I think it's Ingvar, but I can't remember his actual name.
No, it's not Ingvar. No,
oh, wait,
Ingvar's
Ingvar's Minuteman. Never mind. Yeah, sorry, different.
He had the braids in his beard for
really fun. Yeah, really funny guy. I'm sorry. I'm awful with names, and my brain is mashed potatoes.
And he talks like this.
Yeah, no, very serious.
No, great guy. No, but he had the entire bag full of silo bands just sitting in the technically the vault or Safe Tech vault, which was the silo at the end of the day. And he was like, "Yeah, you can just take whatever." I only took one, but I know people took like 3, 4, 5.
Jeez.
But I mean, you could have probably said, "Hey, I don't have a victory, but can I grab one of this, please?" But
yeah, I also do like how they're doing the plastic bands for like getting in once you pay for the event. That counts as your like, hey, I do like that because it counts as another like keepsake.
Yeah,
that's wild.
I was going to get to this later, but we're running a little short on time, so we might as well talk about it now real quick. The bands that so Grim Tank, it was your first event. CJ, I know you did Rift or no shit Omega. Yes, we all did Rift. No, but Omega. What's your opinion of Skirmish integrating with Rev itself? That I think, or compared to these, like I thought that this was a better mechanic than the Skirmish bands because it was just less complicated.
Yeah, that's my take too. I think Skirmish is a really cool system. It can be used for a lot of like cool stuff and making Airsoft more dynamic for these kinds of like LARP events. I don't know a ton about it, like the inner workings of it. But yeah, when you're having to explain like how it works for like 700, 800, 900 people, it gets a little tricky. And trying to keep all the systems maintained because they're like the nodes are electronic and they need to be I think they need to be like charged and everything. But just being able to use like simple plastic analog non-powered bands makes it a lot easier if you're doing especially a big event. Now I know there's other smaller events or
Galactic Conquest or not Galactic Conquest, Galactic Civil War.
That's the one that's coming up, right?
Okay, so there's Galactic Conquest, which is basically, no offense, but it's basically an overglorified walk-on. But Galactic Civil War is like the Star Wars LARP that uses Skirmish. Okay. And I did talk to Brandon from Skirmish, that he's the owner. And he showed me and a couple other people for some other Milsim events coming up that I'm combat staff for that. So sometimes I need to help out. And he was showing us some of the inner workings. And there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with Skirmish.
Yeah.
But the problem is that how Ballahack implemented it during Omega, that it was rental bands and go to point A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then come back to Wagon Man. That I don't think they should have did that. It should have been individual bands to keep score. But
yeah, I think maybe in the future they could work it out. But it was a first time. I think it was the first time them implementing the Skirmish system.
Yeah,
there's a tricky system. So we play ops up at EA, and they've had it integrated just into their CQB as well as part of it. And I think there's a lot of potential in Skirmish, conceptually, but it's such a new technology. And then to your point of explaining it to people and using it and how it actually functions, I just think it needs a more exposure, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, too, that it has to be not a quest item. It has to be something that's on you and then you
Yeah.
do tasks that way, because that's the way it should work. So then you get points, and you can like show off how many points you got, or you can see
like leaderboard type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. In simple function operation, right? Like if you just think of like a defuse the bomb, set the bomb game, right? Where it's kind of like a 1-2 objective, blue team turns it on, red team turns it off, and simple control systems. There's a lot of potential for that to work.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe I just thought about it. Maybe that LARP events that use skirmish, they can utilize that, like, because there's a way to do teams like infect, and you scan into a certain terminal, and then you're assigned to that team. So maybe like, hey, I want to do some for team or for side A, so I scan into there, and then I do stuff, and then maybe I change my mind, and I scan side B. That there's a couple different ways to do it, and that probably someone's going to watch this and say, hey, I like that idea, and then steal the idea.
Well,
but
if it integrates and it makes it better for all players around, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Bingo. Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of stuff to better the experience, that Rev did something new. They integrated fear into Rev.
Yeah.
At the end of day one, did you guys do fear?
I did not.
Yeah, we did.
You did it? Okay. How was it? Because I was stuck in the park. Okay, so if you know Sater, I rode in with Sater, and he was doing fear, and I wasn't. That my eyesight is very bad in the dark. And they only gave you like little flashlights. Like, I could not do fear. Like,
tell them what fear was like.
I'd be stumbling all over everywhere. That's why I have night vision. But anyway, as you were saying, Tank, I'm sorry.
What I was expecting out of it is just like a horror movie or a horror game where you're constantly being chased by them. But it ended up just being glorified hide and seek where you have to just find a pile of goop. He accidentally picked up the spotlight that was meant for ambience, but because he was so convinced it was important.
I thought it was a gameplay item.
I'm like, that's just black light spotlight. And he's like, no, it has to have something, right? But in fact, didn't. The rules were a bit meh because like, I accidentally figured out shine flashlight in the monster's faces. They just sit down and stay there. And then sometimes they do it, and then sometimes they don't do it, which got really annoying. Like, can you either tell me, are you going to just sit there so I can shine my light in your eyes and get away? Or are you just going to charge at me? I ended up getting scolded because I subconsciously blocked my neck and, like, pushed one in the face.
Oh.
Yeah, like he panic pushed, right? So conceptually, fear there was. Right? Yeah. It's pitch black. Yeah. You're on a hand crank light, right? And if you saw the skinwalker suits they were dressed in, there was a lot going on.
They were creepy.
3 or 4 of these skinwalkers coming running at you through the woods, and everybody's kind of high adrenaline. And to your point, Frank, right? Like, you're not trying to fall. It's basically pitch black. It's an objective base. You're trying to collect a molecule that powers a source for something that's going to be used for the bomb that we all carry together, right? If you remember opening up the barrier at the end of the administration part. And I know you participated in carrying that as well. So you were powering that element. But it was a little tweaky, little high edge, high energy. Yeah. At one point, we got separated, and I wound up just surrendering myself. I was more like in dad mode than survival fear mode. Like, I need to find my son because it's pitch black. But I think it captured the essence of it, and now they're trying to use that and roll that into different type ideas, right? Like, they're starting to play that as an event or at least an add-on to things.
Yeah. I think it's cool. I did it for the while, but I really didn't get super involved. They had it where because it was still light outside, so the first little bit of it, people were just kind of wandering around hanging out. They had the bar still open. We were just grabbing drinks and stuff. It started with like a little murder mystery, which was really fun. I did get involved with that. Once the darkness hit, like the monsters and stuff came out, there was lights, and you're trying to kind of use them to dissuade. But I didn't really get the full objective because I was just like, I just want to hang out with my friends. So I had to super involved. But I heard the fear was fun. I had some friends that did it. I volunteered to see if they need extra staff for it, but they're like, no. I was like, dang it, I want to go. So if they don't need me, I don't know if they're doing it this year. I don't think so.
I know that. Well, if they did it for the Wilds, then I would assume that they're going to do it as an add-on because it's a value add.
They still might. If they don't need people for it, for like staff, I'll just go and watch.
Doing it in the pitch black, of course it's colder at night, right? Like, so there's a lot of that going on. And then a quick adrenaline fix, then thumbs up,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, if I had the option, just sit on top of the tower with my thermal and my nods and just watch what's happening, that'd be funny. I'd pay for that.
Especially with nods on when it gets pitch black.
Yeah. And just saying that, yeah, I've been playing for 10 years, that I have a PVS 14 and I spent way too much money on it.
I want to get a set, but I'm just like, there's really not many events I go to that have night sections that need nods.
Yeah. Well, and just saying real quick, just plugging it again. Otherworld Milsim, that they're, apart from Downfall, there are night sections. So it's worth it there. And they do night vision rental as well. So I just have to mention that. Okay. But yeah, the only bad part about Fear with me was that Sater put his he brought handcuffs for whatever reason. He put handcuffs on top of my tire in the parking lot and didn't tell me. And then I moved the car to be closer to the barn. And then I ran over the handcuffs and they're somewhere in the parking lot. Or they got stolen.
Well, somebody's got handcuffs and no keys, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that was a $95 mistake.
Oops.
Day two experience. I felt that day two wasn't as intense as it usually is until the silo raid.
Yeah.
That literally everyone who had their victory stuff for the silo, basically they already had it, and all they had to do was just participate in an assault at 2 p.m. Wow, that'd be horrible. And it was just wandering around doing nothing. I didn't really add any of that stuff between then the silo raid and then right after the silo raid. I cut a bunch of stuff out for 2 hours. It was literally just me wandering around saying, I don't know what I'm going to do. There's nothing to do. And then Jeff, shout out to Jeff, that he was trying to get off the field. And he was dressed as Santa, so people kept coming up to him, doing stuff like that. I'm like, hey, Santa, can you res me? Can you res me? I'm like, Jeff, just give me the stim pack. I'm going to res these guys. Just said you could finish packing up. He was trying to get out.
Yeah, our day two was actually rougher than day one because that's when sort of that ladder of elements that we needed to complete to get to that victory coin really came into play. So stress load doubled and task oriented. So the whole game became about what do we have to do next? Where do we need to be next? What is it? Where are we going to get this next element? So it wasn't that part of it. I think kind of stressed us out, right? Yeah, to a degree, and to the point where even Tank was like, maybe the next event we just shoot people.
Yeah. Seeing, we thought the silo would be physically impossible because the few times we did shoot people, like you said, chaotic good or just genuinely good people in general to keep stepping in, and it got really annoying when we tried to go for silos. And then the moment, we're going to get some silos, I get shot in the back by some random guy 30 feet away.
Yeah.
So, after a little while, we kind of steered away from that path and went more towards the Royal Blue Trading Company.
Yeah, that how I did it literally was I would walk into a Connex, play it chill, and then I just shoot everyone. And with, I know, tisk, but with the lever action though, a little bit harder. Yeah, if I had an HE, just be done.
Yeah.
But with the lever action, what I did was I have a little assassination pistol, and you can see in the video the first person I got, I shot him with the assassination pistol, dropped it because it's $5 and I don't care. Shot the other guy with the lever action rack, shot the other guy, rack, shot the other. I rack shot the other guy, or it looked like I did. he called it by misfired, but he called it anyway.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, our biggest issue with that, I think, and was it's hard to be inconspicuous when you look like a juggernaut and you're carrying a minigun, right?
Yeah.
So you're already kind of, there's eyes on, right? There's eyes on.
That's when the reputation system and your loadout can kind of factor in what route you want to take. Because, I mean, you can get like, I see so many people carrying the Mark 23, like the suppressed pistols or like Derringers or even running spring pistols for Rev because they're quiet and you don't have to deal with the temperature changes. And you pop someone, you go up, take whatever you need and dip. And if you're not wearing anything like recognizable, then you can just disappear.
That's that guy.
But if you're wearing like something very particular, but I also have seen people where like if they go about doing kind of the sneaky stuff, they'll bring like extra clothes in their they'll put in their backpack and they'll swap out like hats, bandanas, maybe t-shirts or jackets.
Yeah.
And they're a completely different person. Now if they have a unique gun, it's a little bit harder.
Well,
and then
not
some people
not to unveil ourselves, but we have a little bit different strategy how we're going to play this upcoming events. So
2 miniguns with suppressors.
Or maybe a ninja and a tank,
Hey, I was gonna say with your name being the Airsoft Assassins. Actually, that reminds me. One year, someone had a hollowed out book.
The Airsoft Assassins.
That's a dope patch.
It is. It is
one
really
year someone
nice.
had like a hollowed out book. One year, someone had they had like a long trench coat and they sawed off a VSR 10 rifle and they just put it in their sleeve.
There you go.
People are sneaky.
Yeah.
All right. Great.
Oh, real quick. CJ,
AEPs are also good too, Santa.
AEPs are great.
They've gotten a lot better since I started. They used to be really not great.
Real quick, we got a lot of stuff and not a lot of time. But real quick, how was your day 2 experience, CJ? That you said day 1 was more administrative.
Yeah, day 2. Once I kind of got the vibe, once I figured, okay, how am I going to manage the merchants? They kind of like they met with me. We kind of met real quick. They took off. They set up where they needed to be, set up store. But day 2, and for most of the time, is when I see desperation set in, because there's a finite amount of those like gameplay items in the field. Like once they're gone, we're not getting any more. And I have to put up a sign that says, no stim packs, no, motherboards or no bands. Cause I'm like, we don't have any, we're not going to get any. And I have gotten a lot of guff from players, but it's like, there's nothing I can do. There's a finite of those things for a reason.
Right.
So I remember one year, I can't remember what the gameplay item was, but I could see it being used for bans of like people paying me like, oh, do you remember what they look like? I was like, for a couple of caps, I jog my memory. So I'd usually, for some of those, because by day 2, my brain is double mashed potatoes. I would just like, I'd look in the line like, oh, let me make sure they're not here. And then I would just do I would just like describe someone in line, like behind, like 2 or 3 people back. I felt bad one year because I described like the most generic outfit. I'm like, oh yeah, so the guy who has this item, I think it's like a key, like a vault key or something like that. He's in jeans, a cross-draw vest, a tan baseball cap, and M4. And someone just happened to meet that description. I felt so bad.
That's the most generic looking airsoft player in the world. That's everyone's first loadout of tan hat, cross draw vest.
Yep. Yeah. I remember my cross draw vest, but for Rev, it's usually the default loadout is jeans, a plate carrier, flannel, and a ball cap, and an M4.
Yes.
Like, and then for Vertal, it's usually all that, but just a Hawaiian shirt. I'm like, yep, just the default loadout.
Default loadout.
And I get it if it's your first time and you don't know what to wear. Like, but it is funny. Like I see that pattern all the time.
And if you don't know what you need to wear or anything about Rev, that I do have a guide on that you can watch on the channel. So anywho, going back to the itinerary. So Ian's not here to answer the question. So, how did this event stack up to other revs? I thought that the other revs, would the map be more open and the map not being under construction, I thought those other events were a little better than Rev Rift.
Yeah,
I think the remodel, and this can go to another topic as well. I think the remodel kind of took away some things that that people wanted. Like, it was more open, a lot harder to sneak around, and also too, everything was a tripping hazard.
Yeah, that's the biggest complaint I heard of. And they added a bunch of stuff since then. I am thankful for. Granted, it did look very apocalyptic. You had like fallen trees everywhere.
Yeah.
You had random sticks. You had a bunch of like dried mud. It was all over. But there was so much stuff that had been removed. It was very open.
Yeah.
But they have added some stuff since then. But yeah, I'm hoping by Rev Rebirth they'll have even more stuff available.
I will say that I was like, wow, they actually follow the continuity for once, because there's like no continuity in Rev except Wagon Man's bomb went off and the entire place looks like a bomb went off.
Yeah, I played into the lore that we had gotten because we were up north the year prior, that we had gotten bombed out by mortars from the administration, and they just been carpet bombing the area.
So I mean, holy crap, they follow through on their canon or there's some sort of canon. So how Grim Tank, how did you guys think of the field? That you said was your first rev? Was that your first time down at Ballahack?
No, not at all. We went to Z6 and Z7 before going to Ballahack, and there was a big change between like 2-year differences. Right?
Yeah.
Ballahack and then Rev.
I mean, I've seen you guys at Z.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
during Z6, it felt a lot more woody, especially in like the back right area near the entrance. That's where we started. We started in like, do you remember the little hut thing?
LZ.
I remember. That's when we said, "Oh, we're out of ammo. Good luck."
Yeah. Were you at C6, CJ?
Yeah, I was one of the military guys.
Okay.
I was the guy with the pack radio. I was clean shaven then, but I had a pack radio on, and we were doing we got like a transmission that the convoy that had all of our ammo and supplies had gotten overrun.
Yep.
And we're just like, sorry guys. Good luck.
Yeah, that was kind of like
we left to the tower.
I think I was playing Airsoft for Z6. I think I had only been playing Airsoft for like 3 months. Yeah. And I had we were playing outdoors up at the field by us here, Zulu, and I had blew out my calf. So having Z6, I had a knee brace on and like an ankle brace, and literally I felt like I was surviving the zombie apocalypse. And we actually were able to survive a coin out that event, but very woodsy, like Tank was saying. We came in for Z7, and yeah, to your point, it was like an apocalyptic zone. I mean, there were trees everywhere, mud divots everywhere. The terrain was really tricky to navigate. And then to your point, Frank, coming in for Rev, it seemed to start to clear out a little bit more from when even in October. But following along with them, they brought in a bunch of connexes now. So really excited to see what the new field or this version of the field is going to be.
Yeah, because they've added. When I went to the west, there was a ton of new stuff. They're still like clearing stuff out, a bunch of trees still up, or like the tree piles. But hopefully they'll have some more stuff cleared out before Rev Rebirth, and even more stuff before Rev at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I really hope, because some people, like, no offense, I'm gonna be honest, that I told people if this was the Rev you had to miss, this was the one you had to miss, because it's just how the field was.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I tell people go to that event. It's good. It's just my honest opinion that just because of how the field was, just with all the tripping hazards and everything, like that's just my 2 cents.
It was hard to navigate for sure.
Yeah. I don't blame you guys at all.
Yeah. It was hard to navigate.
But also speaking of some changes, the costume and replica restrictions.
Yes.
How did you guys think? Did you guys welcome that change, or was
Absolutely.
it detrimental?
Yeah, I actually one what's the word for it? Issue I had with it was that they didn't enforce it enough. I saw on multiple occasions of people just not following at all. Not even one bit. Just it feels like they just showed up in the indoor kit and they're like, okay.
Yeah.
And then these people that put effort in into making it wastelandy, and they just there's no punishment. They say in their website that if you don't fit the standards, they could refund. They could tell you to go away without refunding you, and then they didn't tell people to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think overall, that's just because you did have your kind of CQB, HPA, die mask, run and gun type players. But on a whole, I would say it was probably like a 70-30 split. And if they could get that to like a 85-15, I think they're on the right track.
Yeah, it's definitely been, or it was definitely a lot better than years past. I know, I'll admit, I wore my Milsim kit for Rev 11, and then I finally started building out my own kit because I knew what Rev was. And then I know for the rental stuff that they give you a plate carrier and a Crytek M. Is it a Crytek M4 or is it a Specna now?
It might be Specna.
Or was it Specna then Crytek?
I don't know what they're doing now.
Well, whatever it is, it's an M4 and they're really good. They're probably one of the best rentals around, honestly. And also too, Jeff brought up a good point. He had to get special permission from staff to wear his Santa costume.
Yeah, and even Canada Man also dirtied up his kit, so it actually looked more in depth. But that has been my biggest complaint probably since I started coming to Rev, was that just people just like, oh, I'm just going to show up in a meme outfit. I'm like,
no,
why? Any other event you go to, if you actually go to Milsim events, you have to be in kit. They will say no, you cannot wear that. You're not in the proper camouflage. And they give you plenty of time on the website. They have approved camouflage patterns, approved weapons. If you don't if you don't bring those, sorry, you can't play. But
or they'll say contact. Oh, sorry.
For Rev, it's just been with so many people and it. Yeah, I think I'm glad they're enforcing that now. But that's been my biggest issue. And I joke on the whole wearing just a flannel shirt and jeans. You don't have to wear Mad Max style armor. Not everyone has the time, resources, money, and skill set to make those stuff. And nor would I not want to go if everyone's in that kit. Just at least bare bones standard street clothes. Yeah. Just jeans, t-shirt, or jacket, depending on the time of year, obviously. Jeans, jacket, whatever.
Listen, street clothes and a little bit of street dirt, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think
immersed.
I think this year, and I think the previous year on Friday, I don't know if they did it during the day of, but before then, when you were picking up your tickets on Friday, they had bins of dirt and blood and bandages and stuff you could wrap your stuff in. That's the other thing. I don't expect people to have another gun, another set of clothes, another set of for these events. We do because we're weird and silly. And I like
nerd is the word.
Yeah, we're very
nerd is the word.
Yeah, and I like doing it, but I can't expect everyone to have the time and space for it. But it's you read the rules. You read what's this event about? It's in a wasteland. I'm gonna come in Gucci gear. I'm gonna come in full multi. I found it in a vault. I'm like, no. And I think Echo may have mentioned it. And one of the goon trial role tasks was if you see someone full camouflage, or I think dye mask is one of them too. You put bounties on them,
or you bring them to Echo, and then he executes them.
Because we had one too where it's just kind of an invisible rule. If you see someone wear don't be a jerk about it. But if you're in a wasteland, if someone's decked out to the nines in really nice gear, it's not going to stay on them very long.
Yeah,
we're going to want to take it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just come on.
This Gucci gear.
Yeah, it's come on, for one weekend, just leave it at home.
Put down the cry and put on your rags.
Yeah, my first Rev was Rev 3. My kit was it was dirty set of jeans, a woodland top that I sewed a hood onto, and a Chicom chest rig. I don't remember what gun I had at the time. I think it was probably an M4 or something. And that was my kit. And you'd be surprised at how much space you have just in your pockets for just magazines and odds and ends, or just like you have your regular leather belt. Just weave some pouches in and out of it. You're good.
Yeah, and generally, you're like I keep iterating. You're not shooting a whole lot rev unless if you decide to bring an LMG and you're hosing people down.
Yeah.
Like I said, I shot maybe 150 rounds. That's the most I've shot at rev. Or I almost shot that at rev 11, and that was test fire.
Yeah.
But that was the most I shot at rev, and I'm probably not going to shoot all that again.
Yeah, it's not, and that's why it's a fun event, and it's not really a combat op unless you want it.
Yeah.
Where it's also a good first time event for players. I mean, you guys first rev, there wasn't a ton of combat. You're not expected to like stay up for 24 hours and like mill some style stuff. It's just kind of like how you want to play it. You want to talk to people? You want to shoot people?
I don't think between day 1 and day 2 that I even emptied out one pistol mag.
Yeah.
For the most part.
When I was a player, it's about the same. I maybe went through like a mag, and that's it.
Yeah, I spent all of my ammo on just pushing for the
administration.
The
barrier breakdowns,
which was cool. That's one thing I like doing after events is watching when people upload videos and seeing their perspective, because I'm kind of locked in to where I'm at and kind of seeing their perspective and seeing the massive push for the administration was really cool.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the highlights. That the push at the end of day 1 was cool. But the push at day 2 is just stuck on that road. Like, it was okay. It just felt too crowded. But I will say the push for the silo, that got crazy.
That actually looked really interesting from your point of view, watching your videos on that push.
Yeah.
Because I kind of felt like it was anticlimactic to get to our route at the end. Like there was supposed to be a big battle at the end, and it really kind of fizzled out at the end of day 2.
Yeah, that was my thought too. Is we kind of around our little merchant area, we just kind of dug in, and there was maybe like 4 or 5 administration guys. We just locked them in place.
Yeah.
We thought there was gonna be like monsters and stuff, so we were just kind of ready to essentially have a last stand.
Right.
We're like, oh, is that
yeah,
it? All right.
Yeah, I kind of, to your point, the last stand was kind of like
thank you, Santa.
Firecracker done.
Yeah.
Like he got behind me. He took all of my ammo. Here, one second. Let me grab my bottle.
So we were like staged for the battle, right? And we have these sort of homemade ammo pouches on this kit, which are just kind of like converted Gatorade bottles, right? So all those rounds were out there, and I was ready to stock load them, and I had the stim pack on them, and we're all hunkered down, and I think we saw 3 assailants, and then it was fizzle fazzle, bring your tab, get your coin. So that was kind of anticlimactic at the end.
We all power through with the power of friendship.
Yeah.
I do, to your point, Frank, there was a lot more energy and excitement in your silo push for sure.
Yeah, that looked really fun.
It was, but the problem was that was at 2:00, and then after that push, there was like an hour and a half of nothing. That literally the last clip before like the sirens go off, like, oh, you got to run. Like an hour and a half before that, there was nothing. It was literally just nothing to do, and then we were just literally just shooting a water bottle.
Were you up at the fire up north? We based that last hour and a half. I think we just sat at the campfire up by Paco's Tacos, where they relocated.
I forgot they had one up there.
Yeah.
We spent a good hour in the parking lot. I was just golfing down blue raspberry Sour Patch Kids. I had no clue what you were doing. Then we went over and took some photos, and we just chilled out there. Like I had like an entire supposed to be like family share size bag of blue, it's like this big. It was this big, and myself and I ate that entire thing of blue raspberry Sour Patch Kids in 15 minutes.
And then imagine that sugar had nowhere to go.
That's false advertising.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
that sugar had nowhere to go.
But But I will say though that if they can improve on that, because I know last year, or sorry, Rev Omega, like there was kind of supposed to be like a big fight at Mother, and then there wasn't, and then Mother attacked Warpath, and then there was a big fight, or a big set piece fight, and that didn't happen for the good ending. So I mean,
I do miss the guy in Chronos Cold. Those were really fun.
Yeah.
That
was fun.
It was fun watching people incorporate those groups into their kits, and they were become like zealots.
Yeah.
I was like, holy moly! Because we went over to I think it was Gaia at one point because Trevor got injured, and like they had set up like a ritual pool and like look like what is like the sticks from Blair Witch Project. It's like all that stuff over there. I'm like, oh no. I asked the guys in Chronos Leader later on, and they're like, yeah, those people just did that like of their own volition. They were like zealots. I was like, oh my god.
I think that more people that let their inhibitions down and embrace the experiences of the event is what's going to drive the event further.
Yeah, I agree. And I think people are trying to get out of their shell of like, you're going to have to go and talk to people.
Yeah.
It's not just going to be someone like a video game coming directly to you and you being a silent protagonist. Like, you have to get involved.
Yeah.
If you want to, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want.
Right. Yeah, you can just go around shooting people.
You just go around shooting people. You could sell stuff. I mean, do whatever. Yeah. But it's the okay, I need to embrace my nerdy side and actually role play.
You can literally spend both days just doing all the side quests that are available.
Yeah. Oh yeah, tons.
Yeah.
You know?
And one of the side quests, just saying that one of the side quests was to do all the tasks for the Minutemen and then get a patch.
That's dope.
But funny enough, one of the people that I shot and stole a bunch of bands from and then he stole it back, like he also did the Man quest, and Ingvar accidentally gave him 2, so he gave me one of his. And I was like, no, I don't want it. It's fine. I have one of the original Rev 12 Man patches I threw Velcro on, and he was like, no, it's fine. You can have it. I was like, nice. So now I have that. I have. Oh, hold on. I forgot to grab it. I talked to Carter in the parking lot. He gave me one of the medical core patches that were supposed to be used during Rev 12, but they weren't.
Did you get the CV scavenger patch?
No, but we're gonna get that next time we see
hold
you.
on.
I've definitely got a bunch more. I need to put some more Velcro on them because they didn't come with Velcro, so you have to scavenge up some Velcro. Crap.
Yeah, we can do
Let me see if I can get a couple rolls of it and just finish them out.
Found it.
Yeah, we did.
Here's mine.
Nice.
There you go. So we got to earn that one. We have to earn Minuteman. He did Sheriff, so we got the Sheriff this year.
Oh.
And then he did Hug Patrol too. So we got 2 with the Hug Patrol. We got to finish that quest line. I think there's 2 more.
Like
they did a fantastic job.
Yeah, we did the hug thing, and then after that, what we didn't do was the reverse looting one.
Yeah. So we got green and gray on those, Frank.
All right.
Did you finish that quest or no?
I would love
No, I
to get
did.
10mm submachine guns from Fallout 3.
Trade me a gun.
Trade me gun.
I have too many guns.
Well, no, I'll give you the 10mm SMG. You give me something. That's Airsoft.
I got tons of stuff.
But
I think I have the Santa patch.
Wait, hold on. Maybe we got something for you, CJ.
Uh-oh.
You like Fallout, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yo! Nice! That is fantastic.
So we'll bring one of these down for you.
Absolutely.
The little New Vegas grenades.
I love
Nice.
New Vegas. Still my favorite. 4. I liked 4 for the building aspect because it scratches that part of my brain that likes building stuff. But New Vegas is still my all-time favorite. So
we got you covered. We get that COV off you.
Oh, absolutely. I need to make sure that's packed. We do have some.
Sorry.
Yeah, I've got the file for it. I just don't have a 3D printer.
Don't we know a guy? We know a guy, right?
Yeah. He has a Bamboo P1P with an AMS that you can do a multicolor.
I just didn't know you had a 3D printer. I think I do have the Santa patch somewhere.
Yeah, I do too. Hold on.
No, so we got this stocking, but we didn't get a Santa patch, right? Did we? No.
This is the Santa patch.
Yeah, I can't.
No, we didn't get a Santa patch. We got the Jackal Tactical Christmas pack.
Ooh. Oh wait, no, the Santa patch is
Nice.
on my my travel cap box. I have all my red patches on that one and some other odds and ends.
We did get the updated Frank Dad Blue.
Oh yeah, there's
Brilliant blue.
nice.
And
Our
those
little
nice.
Santa Jackal Tactical.
Nice.
So just saying, I found this out accidentally. The red where it has redjacktag.com, which is the website you can buy all your airsoft needs from. That one is the 2023 one, and then there's a blue one that, instead of red, it's blue, and that's 2024. So
we're down one. We have to get 2024.
An important part of airsofting is tactical stamp collecting. In the
That's
form of
it.
patches.
it literally is. And just saying, I do ham radio.
Nice.
I've been doing it or my dad got me into it when I was young, and I still have my license because it's basically free through the FCC. And there's something called QSL cards, and like you make a contact, they send you a QSL card, basically saying, "Hey, you talked to me on this date," and you can get them from all over the world. Like I have one from Japan that's really nice. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But I equate QSL or patches, airsoft patches, like from YouTubers and companies, like just as like QSL cards.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can display them and like use them and stuff, which is pretty cool.
I can't remember.
Hold on, guys.
Rev
Just give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
What's that one, CJ?
Was this the Rev Rift patch? I can't remember.
No.
No, the Rev Rift was the purple. Do you have the purple? That might have been from a previous one, but we
It
can
may have been
show.
Omega. Oh yeah, that was the moon crash one.
Sorry about that.
Oh no, never mind. I think it's on my my cap box.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I put that one on my cap box. It's a massive patch.
It's a mural.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
a mini
the
mural.
Z patches are like that from Z7 too.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
They're the big embroidered ones also.
Yeah, I got
But-
I think
but
this
if you
was
kill-
the last one from.
Yep, that's the last one exactly.
Yeah. But just saying, if you kill the silo, you got a smaller version of like a mural patch, which I honestly prefer these. That these should have been the event patch or something similar that should have been the event patch, and this should have been what you got for killing the administration.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
okay.
It is cool that there is very unique ones that you have to meet a certain like criteria to get, because those the administration patches were like very limited. Essentially,
Yeah.
as soon as that you dropped an administrator guy, you had to get to him.
Get to
And
it. Yeah.
front line.
I will
Once
hit
they were out,
you
they were
up,
out.
Santa.
Well,
We-
I will say that I got my administration patch that I snuck around, shot like 2 of the administrations, and then they got me, and then they were being super chill, like, "Hey, I didn't know you were chill like that." And then they gave me one.
It's like you're so. That was cool though.
Yeah. Oh, you chill. No, but
Like dab me
yeah,
up.
yeah,
I'm just here
they
for
dabbed
the
me up.
pats and the beer, right?
Yeah. But all right, so it's getting pretty late. I know I have D&D. CJ, you have D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta get going in a sec. But any
More
last thoughts,
nerd
real quick,
stuff.
before? Yeah, more nerd stuff. But any last thoughts before we wrap this up?
No.
No, it was a great time. Thank you for inviting us on.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming. I greatly appreciate that you accepted the invitation. CJ?
Yeah, had a great time at the event. Great great time here. Looking forward to some more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
we'll see
you
you
can-
soon, CJ. And Frank, we'll see you soon too.
And what,
I think it's
20 days?
20 days, yeah.
Well,
20 days.
I'm not going to rebirth,
No,
but
we're going to catch up with you into the fall, it seems, right? Because we're going to
Yeah.
cross paths on a couple of different events.
Okay.
well, if you go to AD or Wagaman, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be at Crescent. Going to be at probably going to try GTI. I got to try.
It's a
Um,
really cool AO. I highly recommend it.
it's just like 10 hours from my house. So
Yeah, it's a hike for us too.
It's a
Yeah,
Pro
the
tip,
crew
bring a
that
flash-
wants to go down the GTI that we're hooking up with is somebody that we play local with too, and he tried to get us to go last year. It was all last minute. Now he's like, I'm going to ride you all year, keep it on your radar. But they want it. The way they do it is they do a group like a community bus, and we all.
That's smart.
Everybody takes turns driving, and so that's how it's been presented. So we'll probably see you there too, Frank.
Yeah. Well, it's just a matter of the logistics of getting down there and working out PTO.
Yeah.
But anywho, for the audience that's going to be watching the recording, except for Jeff's watching this live. But anywho, just everyone, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon for the latest, greatest content. Make sure you check out Jackal Tactical, 729 Wallace Street, Lebanon, PA, or 91 Hilltop Drive, Conestoga, Pennsylvania, or jacktac.com. And check out Other One Milson as well for their upcoming events. And I'll see you guys around. Bye, guys.